Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Quisha LaRuth. For anybody who doesn't know me, it is nice to meet you. If you're returning, what's poppin', y'all? Hey, welcome to another makeup video. I haven't posted a makeup video in a long time, but here we are. In today's video, we're gonna talk about the 25 things that I've learned up until turning 25 years old. I still have so much to learn throughout life, and this isn't everything that I've learned. These are just kind of some of the things that I feel like are kind of key, kind of important for navigating your 20s, I guess you could say. Yeah. So nonetheless, let's get into the video. Okay, you guys, so I was initially planning on filming like an everyday makeup look that I do. First of all, I don't even do my makeup every day, but for the days that I do my makeup, that would be my everyday look. But I think because I haven't done my makeup like that in a while, I think I want to do something a little bit more boom bang pow. And since I don't have lash extensions in, I think I kind of want to do like boom eyeshadow, but not crazy eyeshadow like the TikTok girlies, because that's not me. So yeah, I have my iPad here of the things that I've listed for the 25-ish things that I've learned. So that's kind of what we're gonna get into today, because I think, and this isn't all the things that I've learned a lot more, but I think these are kind of the key important things that have stood out to me over the years. Also, I have my mirror right here, so like switching back and forth between looking here and here is going to be kind of a thing. Okay, so to get us started, I've obviously pulled back my hair. I'm going to start with primer, so I'm going to use the Milk Hydro Grip primer. This is the travel size because I wanted to try it and see how I feel about it, and to be honest, I'm still not sure how I feel about it, so there's that. I think it's a good primer. I don't know if I love it. Also, I did my skincare with Youth to the People skincare line. That's been the new skincare that I've been using. Part of me is like, first of all, I just realized how red my face gets from using this. Look at that. Okay, get into it. But I feel like something I will say I've noticed is I do want to like double prime with this, like around here, because my pores are like, well, they used to be bigger than now, but shout out to you, to the people. But still, enough of my irrelevant chatter. We're just gonna dive into friends and family topic first. I think I kind of want to start with family because that's something that I kind of took a really long time to understand. I didn't start like seeing and understanding these things literally until last year, the last 2 years, like kind of around COVID time, like between 2020 and 6 months ago. So starting off, I'm gonna use the NYX Professional Micro Brow Pencil, shade Ash Brown. Something that I've learned about family. One, this is just a little side note. Obviously, you can't pick your family. Your family is your family. That's who comes with you when you're born, and that's that. What you can decide is the relationship that you have with your family, and your family doesn't have to be like super involved in everything that you have going on. You know what? Everyone's family is different, and everyone's relationship with their family is different. Personally, for me, I learned, and this is something I lacked for many years, but something I learned is boundaries. Now, boundaries for your family is going to be different for everybody, because of the way that you grew up, the certain expectations that you have, whether those are your own expectations or the expectation of your family. Everyone's gonna have different boundaries, but learning where you're comfortable versus not comfortable, that's for you to figure out. Jeez, family is just tough, okay? So yeah, setting boundaries with your family is going to be up to everybody's own self and what their relationship with each individual looks like, but it is important to set boundaries regardless. I think especially as you get older, like, you kind of have, like, your family has certain expectations of you that either you want to fit or you don't. So there's that. Now, with all of that being said, distancing yourself from family is also normal. This is something that, like, I'm still actively working on. I'm not perfect by any means. I'm not. And neither is my family. But I feel like what I'm about to say kind of goes hand in hand with the next one. Your family can be one of the biggest things to hold you back in life, to sway you from doing the things that you want to do. And they could also be kind of like one of your biggest downfalls. For me personally, I grew up always wanting, like, my family to be really close and to be, I guess you could say, really involved in my life. As I've gotten older, I've learned that's actually not what I want to some extent. Now, again, everybody's family is different. Everyone's family expectations are different. For me, I think learning to distance myself from family is important because of, one, some of the things that we've been through as a family, and just the way my family is. And distancing yourself can look different for everybody. That can be just not telling your mom everything. That could be cutting yourself off from your family. I mean, several different things. It's whatever's within your comfort zone, whatever feels right for you, whatever feels right. So yeah, that's something I've learned, and it's normal to distance yourself from family. Family doesn't always understand that, and that's when things are kind of toxic. And for some people, when things start to hit the fan, right? Because some people's families have the expectation that they will always be there, or that they just have certain expectations of what being involved in your life is gonna look like. Now, I'm just gonna kind of list the things off as we go. I don't have really any particular order. I should have put them in order, but did I? No, and that's okay. It happens, right? I'm okay with the way they look. Realistically, I'm not even going anywhere. Okay, so right now we're going to do the eyebrows and get them ready for eyeshadow. Just use the Born This Way Ethereal Light concealer and just carve out my eyebrows and then do the thing. Yeah, I think that's kind of all I really have to say in regards to family for now. I think also something that, like, kind of goes hand in hand, not necessarily, but I guess in my situation more so, understanding that just because you've known someone for X amount of time, you've grown up with them, whatever the case may be, doesn't mean that they are the best person to have or keep around in your life. I think this was kind of hard for me to understand and really realize, because I value the people in my life and I don't want to lose them. And, you know, sometimes losing people is for the better. I know personally, like, friendship wise, I had people that I didn't necessarily feel like, I don't know what the right way to word this is. So I'm just gonna say it. There were people in my life that I didn't necessarily feel like I wanted around long term, or that I felt like were healthy for me to keep around, or they weren't the type of people that I wanted to have as friends, or whatever the case may be. Just because you've known somebody for X amount of time doesn't mean that they have this certain entitlement to stay around in your life, to be there forever, or whatever expectations come with that. And I think a lot of people kind of feel like, well, we've been friends since high school, we've been friends since birth, we've been friends since da-da-da-da-da. And, you know, it's okay. When you have friends, you want to have friends that add value to you and to your friendship. shouldn't have friends that tear you down or don't have like similar goals to you. And that's something also that I realized is important. Having friends in your life or in your inner circle that have the same type of goals, that want similar things. Now, I'm not saying like I want to be a YouTuber, so I expect all my friends around me to also want to be a YouTuber. That's not what I'm saying. That's unrealistic to some extent, right? But what I am saying is, if you know you're the type of person who wants growth, who wants to experience all different forms of life and go through X amount of different things, people that you currently have in your life are more so like, I'm fine where I'm at, I'm comfortable, I'm okay with this, and that. Maybe it's time to reevaluate your circle. You are your 5 closest friends. If your 5 closest friends aren't what you would want for yourself, then it's time to evaluate the type of people that you're hanging around with. I really like this for like an eyeshadow base, to be honest. Like, okay, period. I haven't quite determined exactly what eyeshadow look I'm gonna go for. We're gonna figure it out as we go along. I have my two Morphe palettes, 3502 and the 35M palettes. So I know one is a lot more neutral tone than the other one, but this is one. Okay, I don't know. I don't really know if those are the colors that I'm looking for. And this is the other one. This is the one that I literally use all the time. So maybe we're gonna use it. Maybe dabble into this one a little bit. Also, along the topic of having like, friends and everything, in life, there will be a period that you kind of go through of like having no friends. Not everyone will go through this, I guess, and not everybody, because you know there's people who can't be alone and whatever, things like that. But there's a period that you may come to where you don't necessarily have friends, and that's normal. It's okay. I have friends now, but there was literally just a period like 5 seconds ago that I was like, I had no friends. But it's normal to go through those periods. You like grow and you change, and things happen in life that bring people closer to you, bring people further away from you. And if you're the type of person that always wants to grow and is always looking to like evolve yourself, that type of period is expected. Like, to welcome new and to bring in like new experiences, fresh faces, or whatever, you have to shed off whatever is in your life that is not healthy for you, that's not benefiting you. And I don't mean benefiting only in one way, like I'm only gaining one thing from this, like, but so going through those periods, totally normal, and it's okay. Like, again, for instance, I was just going through that period of feeling like, girl, I ain't got no friends. But I was happy. I couldn't have been happier. Now, the reason I had no friends is a whole nother story of its own, but I was just recently in that period of feeling like I had no friends. I didn't have anybody to hang out with. I didn't have anybody to talk to. And it's okay, because I feel like in the end, where I'm at now, I've come out like way better than I would have if I had friends and was focused on maintaining those friendships or those types of things. It allowed me to really focus on myself and see what I really wanted in life, where I felt like my footing was, and where I wanted to go. What type of people I wanted to have around me. I am 25, and there are just a lot of things that I used to want, or that I used to do, that I no longer want to do, that I no longer feel benefit me or push me to growth in the way that I want to be moving. Going through that period, at least for me, was probably one of the best things that I could have gone through. I haven't gone through that period ever. This was like the first time I had ever gone through a period like that. And a lot of the friends that I had were friends from high school or friends from before high school, and I'm okay with that. I am okay with not hanging around the same people if those aren't the people that ideally are supposed to be in my life long term. And going through stressful situations or going through hardship or things like that will really teach you a lot about the people around you. I don't just mean that for friends. I mean that for friends, families, coworkers, literally everybody. It'll teach you a lot of the people around you and what people think of you, how people show up for you, how people help you, support you, or how people will tear you down even. Like, you will learn a lot from going through a rough period. And something else that I've really had to learn is not everyone is like me. And when I say that, I mean how I show up for my friends may be the complete opposite of how my friends show up for me. And that's okay. In friendships and in family-ships, it's important for you to vocalize the things that you need and what you feel is best for you as a person. And also sometimes the people that are currently in your inner circle can't give you those things, and that's okay. Not even gonna lie to you guys, I think this is the best my makeup is about to turn out. I think, to be honest, I'm just gonna kind of go for like browns and smoky. So again, like, yeah, so with all of that being said, like, something I've also learned is you're not always gonna have the same friend group. And when you don't always have the same friend group, it causes like this like questioning within yourself, especially when you lose friends that you've been with for such a long time. But something I learned, just because we've known each other for X amount of time doesn't mean that I have to be tied to you. It doesn't mean that I have to do X, Y, and Z. Something important for friendships in general, and this is something I've learned not only about myself, but about the people that I had as friends or people that I had around me. It's a two-way street. It is always a two-way street. Something that's been a consistent factor in my life is I have always been the friend or the family member or the whatever to reach out and check. Ooh, frick. To reach out and check on everybody else. I've always been the friend to make sure, again, family or whatever the case may be, to make sure that everybody around me is okay. Whether that means I know certain people around me have depression or anxiety and go through highs and lows or whatever the case may be, or I just want to hang out with a friend, or I just want to do whatever. Now, with that being said, if I am the only person always reaching out to hang out, to make sure you're okay, or to make sure you're X, Y, and Z, I'm not doing that. I am way too old to be the only person checking on relationships that I have. And that goes for the same, again, that goes for friendships, relationships, families. Like, that is a consistent factor that has been throughout my entire life. I've always been the person to check on everybody else. And when I was at my lowest point, I quite literally feel like I had nobody there to check up on me. I had nobody there in my corner. I had nobody there to show me support, to say, hey, I'm a friend, I'm here for you. And that's when I had to learn that I needed to reevaluate my friendships. I needed to reevaluate the people that I considered closest to me. Something I've recently learned is tiers. People in your life that are placed on tiers, right? You have your tier 1, who is the people that you talk to regularly, maybe, that they check in on you, you check on them. It's a mutual thing. They support you, they show you support and all of that. And then it just kind of dwindles down the list to maybe like a 5, 6, 7, where they're here, like they're kind of in your life, but they're not really like the people that you first go to, or maybe not even like the second people that you go to talk. So I think, yeah, that's something that I've recently learned, literally like within like 3 days. Now, so yeah, just always remember the relationships that you have are always going to be a two-way street. You feel like you give more support or just caring than somebody else. Talk to them if that's somebody that you care about and really want to keep in your life, or distance yourself. And distancing yourself will show you and teach you a lot about people. There are people that I used to text all the time, and I kid you guys not, as soon as I stopped texting people, I don't talk to people. So if you're wanting to evaluate the friends that you have or the people in your life that you would consider that you care and value about highly, stop texting people. That truly for me was the biggest wake-up call ever, because it was like, wow, I am going through something that I feel like is one of my hardest moments, and I have nobody in my corner. I have nobody to talk to. As soon as soon as I stopped texting people, it was like as if everybody vanished. Yeah, that's a good way to check up on who actually values your friendship or who values you as a person and like cares to keep you around. Also, like, why do you want people in your life that don't care about you to the extent that you care about them? Meaning, like, if you're at a low and they can't even care to send you a, hey, how are you doing? Like, that's not what you want. Especially as you get older. Like, once you get older and you start thinking about, okay, I'm an adult, I'm doing these things, like, in my life, I'm gonna get married soon, or I'm gonna have kids soon, or I want to settle down, or I want to do this, this, and this. You get older and you start thinking, like, what are the types of people that you want to have in your circle, or even just in your life? And you really, really, really start to think about it. Yeah, that's one of the biggest, like, heart aching things that I went through. And yeah, I don't know, people always have this expectation of, like, especially if you're a people pleaser or somebody that's always naturally been there for everybody, people will have this expectation that you will always, always, always be around for them. And you got to know your boundaries and know when you're gonna say, oh, okay, I'm not gonna be that friend anymore. I'm not gonna be that person anymore. I am only looking for things that contribute to me as much as I contribute to them. A fluffy brush. I would say like 95% of my brushes also are from Morphe. So I haven't updated my brushes in a long time. Do you guys remember when I used to make like makeup videos like frequently? I love makeup. Not like the TikTok girlies. Ooh, another good one I learned, and I've heard it like several times, but don't tell everybody in your life, or just everyone as somebody, everything in your that you're wanting to do, that you are doing. Don't. People aren't going to support you in the way that you necessarily want to be supported. And that's okay, in the sense of, I don't expect everybody to support me the same way that I want to be supported, or that I would support someone. Support looks different to literally everybody. You guys, I can't tell what's going on with the look, but we're just gonna pop a color on the lid and call it a day. Don't tell everybody everything, because some people, for multitude of reasons, there are some people in your life who could be envious, people in your life who, again, aren't going to support you the way that you feel like you need to be supported or should be. And when you invite people into your circle of the things that you're doing or the things that you want, you invite the negative talk. You invite the things that maybe you don't necessarily want to hear. Maybe you're telling these friends or these family members things that you have going on because you're excited and you're hoping that they also are going to be happy and excited for you, and you're going to get the downfall of that. And this, again, doesn't go for everybody. Just know, like, not everybody should know what's going on, especially not even your loved ones. I know for me personally, I thought like my loved ones should know every decision that I wanted to make, in the sense of, this is going to be so good for me. My family's going to be so happy and so proud for me. And, you know, sometimes it's not what they envision for you. Sometimes it's not what they even want for you at all. So you go through a period of like questioning the things that you want because of other people's opinions on what you want to do. If it makes you happy, whatever the case may be, a relationship, a friendship, a job, moving, whatever the case may be, if it makes you happy, do that. And remember that whatever you share with whoever you share, there can come repercussions of negative thoughts or things like that. And if that's not what you want to hear, don't open the door to that. Now, I can't tell you guys what number we're on because at this point, I'm just sharing the things that I have to say. Okay, I'm not mad at the look. This one I really like because this is something that I feel like I struggled with for so long as a people pleaser. Okay, I struggled with but didn't struggle with because I always knew this, and this is something that I would say just out loud to people. Like, I struggled but I didn't struggle, you know? Not everyone is going to like you. And you know what? Who cares? Really, like, who cares? Oh, sorry. I'm taking the Fenty Beauty Concealer in the shade 210, and I'm gonna use this to kind of like cover these up and then let it sit so I can put my foundation on top. Any blemishes that I have. Yeah, that was something that I've always kind of like felt like, really, like, who cares if people don't like you? Like, I'm not even kidding you guys. Like, I've always said that, like, you're not gonna be everybody's cup of tea. Why are you trying to be everyone's cup of tea? Some people don't even like tea. So whatever, like really, some people don't. They don't like tea. So if you spend your life just going around trying to make everybody like you, are you really gonna be living life for yourself, or are you gonna be living life for other people? I don't know about you guys, but I'm not trying to live my life making other people happy to the point where it makes me sad that I'm not doing the things that I want. And with that, also, you don't owe anybody shit at all. And people hate me when I say this, but like, you don't. Like, really, that's like another thing that I've always said is like, I don't owe anybody anything. Not my mom, not my sister, not my girlfriend, not my friend. I literally owe nobody nothing. This is my life. I have one life to live. I don't owe anybody an explanation, a reason, and literally nothing. Nobody wants to understand that or be okay with that. Like, you don't. I don't expect anybody to owe me anything. I don't expect anybody to do this because they're a friend, or do that because they're my girlfriend, or like because they're my mom or whatever. Like, live your life, dude. Live your life how you want to live your life. Who cares? Really? Like, who freaking cares? So, can we talk about like the skincare? Because you guys, she's doing something. That's something that kind of irks people. Like, but I've been saying that like since high school. I don't owe anybody anything, and that's okay. If people think you owe them something, they're not the right people to be hanging around with. Period. So, I think that's kind of all that I have to say about like friends and family, I guess. We're gonna dive into like self-growth, self-help, those things. And for foundation, I'm gonna use the Born This Way in light beige with my Sephora 70 buff brush. I don't even know if that's what this is called. Yeah, we're just gonna do that. If you guys have watched me for a while, you guys know like growth is important to me, self-care is important to me, and those things are like really high of importance on my list. Because I went through a period of really not liking myself, and I had to learn like, if I don't like me, who the hell is gonna like me? Right? As unfortunate as that may be, there are plenty of people who have also been through like similar situations. And yeah, so self-care is like beyond important. And if you don't know what self-care is, if you don't know what that looks like, you have to learn that, because self-care for everybody is different. Self-care isn't just a one fits all, because everyone has different needs, everyone has different expectations. Everyone needs to be catered to differently. And when I say catered to, I mean obviously by yourself, because we're talking about self-love. Duh. You know, everyone has different needs that need to be met. So, you know, look into what that looks like. Look into what feels right for you. Like, does taking a bath for an hour feel good to you? Does reading feel good? Does being somebody who is like religiously in the gym, is that your form of self-care? Like, self-care is so important. And I feel like, you know, as COVID happened, a lot more people, I feel like, started to realize that. A lot more people started to say, okay, I need to care about myself and look at myself and see how I'm taking care of that. What does that mean? Yeah, I think that's important for everyone. So that's something that, and again, I've known that again for a really long time. Self-care is something that I really pushed on my Instagram for a few years, because when COVID was happening, like, that was so freaking important to me, was making sure people, like, not even necessarily knew how to take care of themselves, but like for me, like, knew what that looked like, knew what that meant. And for me, part of my self-care is talking to people, talking to myself, giving myself a bath, and doing all those things. Like, figure the things that make you happy out. Those will then lead you to understanding your own self-care. My face looks so washed out. So yeah, do that. Look into self-care. With self-care, that comes also with cutting people off, understanding. For me personally, it came with understanding forgiveness and forgiving people in my life. I really like this foundation. Yes, this is like one of the only foundations that I've found that I really enjoy. Like, this is one of the only ones that, like, okay, that's not, I really liked the Fenty foundation. That one was Chef's Kiss too. Just kind of dry for my skin, I feel. I tried the Makeup by Mario foundation, and that one was not it for my textured skin. I'm going to take a beauty blender, and I'm gonna put concealer. I avoided putting foundation here because I just put concealer, and that's it. For me personally, with self-care came going to therapy. Therapy was something that I've wanted for, this is the Born This Way Ethereal Light concealer. The Born This, or not the Born This Way. Going to therapy was something that I wanted for a long time because I knew, one, I needed it. I knew I had a lot of pent up things that I didn't understand about myself that I felt I needed to talk to somebody about. But at the same time, I was really scared to go to therapy. I honestly thought, like, I would sit down and instantly start crying my eyes out to somebody. And that scared me about therapy, to be honest. Like, really bad. But back in August of last year, of 2022, I started BetterHelp. And I think that was such a good way for me to start therapy because it was over the phone. You can do video or just over the phone. And it was a good way for me to kind of ease into that. They're just 30-minute sessions over the phone every week. And I really, really, really liked that. I liked being able to learn about myself. Like, for me, learning what communication was and what that looked like for me is really important. And I can say, like, I've grown so much from going to therapy, and I'm honestly proud of myself. Am I perfect? No. I still have so much to work on and so much to learn and understand. And that's okay, that's normal. I'm gonna take the Beauty Bakery translucent powder, just set under my eyes. So I'm not perfect by any means, and I'm still working on things, and there's still a lot of things that I haven't even addressed, but I think for my current situation, I've done great in trying to talk about things or understanding how things work and how to move away from things or whatever, things like that. That's me trying to talk without saying what the heck I'm going through. You guys, beautiful. Hello. So yeah, 10 out of 10 would recommend therapy. Here's the thing. I've been a huge fan of therapy. I've told my parents to go to therapy. I've told friends to go to therapy before I was even in therapy myself. I think therapy is a good thing for people. It just took me some time to actually go for myself. Take the Fenty cream, what is this, bronzer in the shade Butter Biscuit. Therapy is something I've always known that I would do. I just didn't know when. Feel really good about therapy. Something that I would recommend to everyone. Also with therapy, keep in mind, growing is a choice. Not everyone is gonna wanna grow, change, and understand the way that they trigger people or how things trigger them. You know, things like that. You can't force somebody to wanna grow. They have to wanna grow on their own. And you can't force people to see things from your perspective. Everyone has their own perspective because of the own things that they've been through in life. Life isn't a one size fits all, unfortunately. And I have to let it be and understand that. Like, everybody's experiences are different. And not all things make sense to people. But you can try and share your experiences with other people and explain the best way that you can in what makes sense. It's hard. I'm gonna take the Pacifica Duo palette, shade Desert Sun. I feel like this shade fits me so well when I put it on for like light. Bring color back to my face, please. So yeah, growth is optional. You can't force anybody. You can't force people to understand. It is what it is. I feel like the camera doesn't pick up when I do things to my face. I'm gonna take the same. This is an interesting one I just recently learned. If your relationship triggers you, it's a good thing. Now, I'm not talking triggers all the bad things in your life. But if their trauma triggers you, or if your trauma triggers them, that's okay. You guys are supposed to work things out, understand one another, and understand those traumas that you guys have and what it looks like to work through them. Because if you guys can't work through trauma, what are you guys working towards or to from? Yeah, this camera is like not picking anything up. It is what it is. So that's an interesting one that I learned, because I think my current relationship is honestly the healthiest relationship that I've been in. I am extremely happy. And I'm glad that I've worked through my traumas with her to get me to where I'm at now. My skin is looking good. I really wish you guys could see, like... Okay, we're gonna try these Kiss Lash Couture Foam Ink lashes. The packaging, I've already used one, but I don't really remember how I felt about them. So we're gonna give them another try. Bitch, I literally... So we're going to use the Duo Glue in black, and then I'm going to focus on lips. Ooh, something that I really liked that I've learned is I don't have high expectations. I just didn't meet the right person. That goes for friendship, relationships. I solely mean that in correlation to my relationship, but it does apply to other factors in life. So something that I've loved is using the Laneige sleeping masks. I've loved these for years. So honestly, therapy has helped with not only myself and my own understanding and realizations, but it's also helped me in my relationship, and it's kind of like therapeutic. Therapeutic in a sense of it brings me relief to talk about the things that are bothering me. I don't know what I thought the outcome was going to be after just putting that stuff on my lip. People would always tell me, like, you have high expectations. You're never going to meet somebody with those expectations. I did. She's great. And you know, don't lower the things that you expect or want out of life. raise yourself. Your knowledge, your ability to grow, raise those things. You know, the people that you want in life, you attract people that you're similar to. So if you want somebody better, somebody who fits X, Y, and Z expectations, you also gotta do X, Y, and Z expectations to attract those type of people. A healthy relationship will show you and teach you a lot about yourself and the people around you. I forgot I had to put up my lashes. Let's do that. So don't lower your expectations for anybody. Ooh, yeah. Something just hits different. Like, it's giving. Okay, period. Yeah, don't lower your expectations. Don't lower your expectations for the type of friends that you have, for your family. Like, no. Period. I feel great about this look. Okay, these are kind of what I'm gonna end on. I think I want to add a little bit of color under here. So, something that was really hard for me to learn. Forgiveness is for you and not for them. When you forgive somebody for their behavior, for the things that they did or said, all of that is literally for you, because not forgiving somebody can cause you to be upset, irritated, hurt by somebody else's actions. And when you're in that state, you're literally not doing anything to them. You're doing everything to yourself. You are making it harder and more painful for you. So forgiving isn't for them. Forgiving is to make yourself feel better, to feel healed, to feel okay with what happened, what was said. You don't have to forget. And a lot of people think just because you forgive somebody, you forget about what they did. No. You forgive to be able to bring peace to your life. You are not placed on this earth, on this universe, to carry ill feelings. Forgive. You don't have to forget. Forgive. To feel better. And you're not always going to understand why people do the things that they do. And it's not your job to understand why people do the things that they do, or to feel like someone needs to explain that to you. What is explaining gonna do for you? And I guess, yes, maybe in some instances it's good. Not all instances. No response is a response. No understanding, no wanting to converse, grow, those things. Take it for what it is. Take it at face value for what's being shared with you. I'm torn. Real quick, a little bit of mascara just to blend the lashes. This is the YSL mascara. These ones look way fuller than these ones. You guys see? Just go with this one. This is the Maybelline New York Ultimate lipstick in the shade More Truffle, $9.99. It's a matte lipstick. So trust the universe. People who want to be there will be there. People who are meant to be there will be there. Like, when you work on being in alignment with the universe and with the way that things are supposed to happen, everything will fall into place the way that it should. Just continue to be the positive, bright person that you are, and don't let people tear down the things that you want or expect or feel like you should be treated and things like that. We're gonna take the Revlon Sport Fix setting spray. Yay! Then I'm gonna take my beauty blender and just, I feel like the camera's not doing me justice for how I look. I'm giving like Morticia. Maybe I should change my lip color. Everything in life happens for a reason. You don't always have to necessarily be okay with the reason. You don't like the current circumstances that you're in, change them. You can decide at any day, at any point, that you want something different, that you need or are something different. And don't explain yourself to anybody, ever. Because at the end of the day, what is explaining yourself gonna do? Make people like you more? Feel like they understand you? Who cares? Why are you worried about pleasing other people? Maybe I should do it a red. Fuck it, let's just do a red. Ooh. Meditate, journal, do new things. Be proud of who you are. Love yourself, because if you don't, who will? I think I touched on everything. That concludes today's video, you guys. Okay, I love the look. I hope you guys kind of got where I was going with all of these things. Yeah, towards the end I kind of like, you guys saw. Again, that's not the only 25 things that I've learned in life. I've learned a lot about life and through my experiences. And if you guys want to see a part 2, let me know. I'm more than happy to film a part 2, whether that's doing another makeup video or doing something different. I'm more than happy to do that. I have no problem. Hello, I could literally talk for ages. That was all for this video, but again, if you guys want to see more, just let me know and I'll be more than happy to film those for you guys. Other than that, I think is going to be the end of this video. I learned a lot and I'm still learning. It's all about how you take life and where you decide to apply the knowledge that you're collecting. So that's gonna be the end. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys like it, if you want to see makeup videos, hair videos, whatever, comment that down below. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, and if you're returning, turn on the notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you guys for watching.
Bad little flex, she wanna know me. I stay low key, all gas, no brakes, baby.